What's going on? You right where you need to be. It's Billy G. Hey man, this war is getting real, man. I had to do a reaction, man. This is crazy. Like for the 3 soldiers that's killed, it's getting active, man. And I know we report on celebrities and all that, but I had to drop. I'm gonna keep y'all posted with Iran and everything. I gotta step it up, man. So y'all see the video, man. Keep me motivated. Hit the like button and subscribe. I need to see more likes on him, man. Get me monetized, man. Get me monetized. But let's get to it, man. This is crazy. We're gonna react to 2 videos I seen of this. I'm gonna show y'all the destruction that kind of happened. This clip may show that because this gonna be my first reaction to it. I ain't seen it either. This clip may show that, but it's gonna explain why this retaliation is going on because of the 3 soldiers that passed. So let's get into it.
Dignified transfer of their remains. Let's go right to national security correspondent Jennifer Griffin. She's got a live update from the Pentagon. Hi, Jennifer.
Hi, Dana. Well, at 4 p.m. Eastern, the U.S. began carrying out airstrikes on 6 to 7 locations, I'm told, in both Iraq and Syria. U.S. Central Command just put out a statement in which they said that 85 targets had been struck at those different locations that were used by the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps. 125 munitions were dropped. We've reported and we've heard from U.S. defense officials that 2 B-1B Lancer bombers flew from the United States to the region and carried out some of these strikes, targeting, I'm told, multiple targets inside these 6 to 7 locations used by the Iranian proxies. Some of the locations were weapon storage facilities and included underground bunkers, headquarters, commanding.
Some of my people, I do not want them to get bored to death. They killed 85 people. I'm gonna show y'all. They just responded to those soldiers being killed, and they laid down some bombs in Iran and Syria, which are friends of Iraq and Syria, which are friends to Iran. So this is crazy. Let me go back. I want y'all to see this here, man. This is crazy. This is the destruction
had been telegraphed for a week, so most senior military probably fled. But for ordinary citizens on the ground, the impact was very real. Residents in Qa'im in Iraq said they've been lobbying for months to move militia bases away from their homes, to no avail.
This airstrike has led to the explosion of equipment and rockets stored in these buildings. The shrapnel from the rockets flew inside the residential compound. It caused damage to the buildings, equipment, and the people's properties, and 1 citizen was martyred.
President Biden announced the operation in a written statement, saying that the U.S. response begins today, but will continue at times and places of America's choosing. The first phase was largely conducted by long-range B-1 bombers, flown all the way from Texas, refueling mid-air en route to the Middle East. It's been a week since the deadly attack on U.S. soldiers at the Tower 22 base in the northeast of Jordan. The drone strike immediately blamed on an Iran.
If you really think about it, this is a reaction. But if you think about it, imagine a country just dropping a bomb and your peoples is there next to the bomb place and this happens. War's no good. I mean, America don't play no games. But you gotta be careful how these other countries respond to this, man.
Backed militia, but last night's US strikes intentionally did not hit Iran. Instead, they targeted the 2 countries where the militia operate, Syria and Iraq. 125 precision-guided munitions were dropped onto 85 targets across 7 sites, 5 of which have so far been identified and comprise command and control operations, intelligence centers, and weapons bunkers. The whole operation lasting just half an hour. 23 were reported killed inside Syria, including some civilians and 1 Iranian Revolutionary Guard. The Iraqi government said 16 were killed, civilians among them. This was a calculated move by President Biden. He had to retaliate after the killing of 3 US troops, but he says he didn't want that response to be the very thing that escalates the war in the Middle East into a wider conflict. So the thinking is that by flagging last night's strikes and more to come, that potentially casualties and chaos could be minimized, while at the same time, America gets to send a strong message that the attacks on its troops must stop. But whether Iran and its militant proxies see it the same way is obviously the huge risk. There are about 30,000 US troops scattered across the region, including 900 in Syria, the only country where America doesn't have the permission of the government, and another 2,500 in Iraq, where authorities are asking the US to start to withdraw. Today, Baghdad accused the US of deception, saying America's claim that it had informed them about the attack ahead of time was unfounded. Iran also blasted the US over the strikes, sticking to the expected script.
We naturally condemn any move against the resistance front. These attacks will lead to the flames of the resistance, and they must act wisely, which is very unlikely, and we do not see it in the Americans.
But beyond the rhetoric, the human cost of this escalating violence is clear, as was the visible anguish on Joe Biden's face yesterday, as he received the bodies of the 3 American troops killed last weekend. Biden says he wants an end to the attacks. What's less clear is whether Iran and its proxies feel the same way, or whether they are playing out their roles publicly while privately planning their next move.
Well, earlier I spoke to General Joseph L. Votel, a retired US Army officer.
Rest in peace to those soldiers, man. This war finna be crazy, but yeah, you know, it's gonna be crazy. That's all I'm gonna say, man. I buried soldiers before. I was in the military, so that hit. So y'all get ready, man. Y'all worry about little things in life. Prep, man. And try not to go to jail, because you don't want to be in jail when your country's under attack. It's one of the worst places to be. You feel me? So stay free, man. And it's crazy. But let's get back into it a little bit. Check this out, man. The soldiers that died and this whole retaliation. So I done counted 39 people.
So he was most recently commander of US Central Command and responsible for US and coalition military operations in the Middle East. I began by asking for his assessment.
Yeah, I don't want to sit through that whole one because I'm watching it. It ain't going to be all that. But let's see. The damage from U.S. strike. Let's see if there's some footage of that. I'll put some crazy. Let's see if we can get the damage. Some more footage of the damage.
For the latest, let's bring in international correspondent Mike Tobin. Mike, what do we know?
Well, we know that we've got the first images coming out of Iraq. You just had them up a second ago. Al-Qaima, Iraq. This is the very western part of Iraq, on the border with Syria, very near some of the other locations. As you mentioned, some 85 targets were hit in 7 different locations, both in Iraq and Syria, hit by 125 munitions. Those 7 locations are divided up to 4 inside of Syria, 3 of them inside of Iraq. The U.S. says the targets were all Iranian Revolutionary Guard command and control, weapons storage, logistics support for both the IRGC and the proxies they support. The U.S. says the American aircraft are now all out of harm's way and the battle damage assessment is underway. The NSC spokesman, John Kirby, despite the battle assessment not being done yet, called the strike successful to this point. So far here in Israel, we have not seen any retaliation, but Hezbollah positions in the north of...
Respondent Mike Tobin. Mike, what do we know?
My bad, y'all.
Hamas's ability They did fire earlier in the day before the U.S. strikes. At least the Houthis took credit for one rocket that was taken out by Israel's aero defense system. Pete, back to you.
Mike, thank you very much for the.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click.
Yeah, man. So this war going down, man. This war definitely going down. So there we go, man. 39 people killed, 16 in Iraq, 23 in Syria, some civilians, man. Nobody wants somebody who ain't have nothing to do with nothing to die, but that's what happens in war, you know, mankind is kind of, we slow, but, you know, you kill one, back and forth. We'll see how this go, man. Y'all stay up. It ain't like street wars where the killing just never stop because they forever emotional, but they gonna kill. Leaders gonna come. They gonna forgive. They gonna always have a bitter taste about that. Y'all stay good, man. Like, comment, and subscribe. It's free, and I'm giving you all of the spill for real. Y'all stay up, man. Stay up the big way.